we chose, my wife and I, we chose that once I became a Christian, got saved, and got really aware of the tools that were being used, and the media, television, movies, video games, they are a major tool that Satan is using to get us to where we are. Because think about this for a second. 400,000 churches across the nation of America. 400 plus thousand churches. 6,000 first-run theaters. Which one is impacting the culture more? And if we're honest, the 6,000 theaters are impacting the children, including the children in the church, more than the 400 plus thousand churches. So using the media to teach critical evaluation of messages, I believe is the way that you do it. So you're going to have some of it in there. But as a Christian, as a father, I want to be the one that controls that. I want to control what comes into it. I want to know the video, what's in the video, what's in the television program. I want to know those things. I want to be the one sitting alongside of my child so that as these things are coming in, you may not do it on the spot, because that didn't work for me very well. My children didn't want to watch TV with me anymore. So we had to get to the point where we got to where we would say, okay, after the television program, after the movie, we're talking. And if we're not talking when we're done, then we're not watching. But learning how to critically evaluate the media, it's vital in our culture today, because that is, I think one of the major tools that's being used to indoctrinate this younger generation. So we better prepare them to deal with it. My son for 5 years has been bringing me stuff on video games and on social media. He's like, Dad, you got to write a new book following up off the remote controller. Because he said, you're talking about television and movies. He said, my generation, video games are impacting our generation more than the television and movies. I think he's right. I really do, from what my experience has been over the last couple of years. But I'm not a gamer. I mean, I'm like the two-thumb guy. If I can't do it with two thumbs, I mean, Dr. Mario, you know, flip, flip, drop, flip, flip, drop. I can do flip, flip, drop, but I can't. You throw more than 2 buttons in there and I'm done. And that walking around, I get dizzy, I get sick. So video games aren't my thing. But my son, he's bringing me these clips. I said, look, there's your book. That's your piece, because I don't know that world. He knows it. And we're not just talking the violence aspect of video games. We're talking about how Christians are depicted, how Jesus is depicted, how the Bible is depicted. Because if 2,888 out of 3,000 studies show that TV violence is having an impact on the culture, don't you think the same would be for video games? But now let's not just stick with violence. Those messages dealing with Christians, with Jesus, with God, with the Bible, if they get this message over and over and over again, that Christians are a bunch of closed-minded, intolerant, bigoted, opinionated hicks, the Bible's an old, outdated book filled with mistakes and errors, and they're getting that over and over and over and over again, the same way that the violence message is impacting them, I say those other messages are impacting them, and that's why I encourage my son to go with that.